Hi guys, I am from JRIT Code. JRIT Code is a coding club which has been started by the students of Computer Science department by taking an initiative to encourage and enhance the coding skills of students. As a first event in our club, we are conducting an event called Codeabout. Basically, Codeabout deals with artificial intelligence, and the event is on 3rd October 2015. And coming to the event Codeabout, it basically deals with a game called Isola. Isola is a word derived from isolation, which means you have to isolate the opponent's piece. Isola is a 7x7 board game which consists of two players. It has one coin for each player, which are placed in the middle of the row which is nearest to the player. While taking his move, each player should have to take two actions, which are moving one's piece to a neighbor, like he can move either horizontally or vertically or even diagonally, and removing a square which has no piece in it, like he can remove any of the pieces which has no piece in it. Let me take an example and show you. And let this be a board at any instance, for example, and the blue piece in this position and the red piece is in this position, and on all these white blocks are the places where the board has been removed. That means either blue or the red can't move into that blocks. And in implementing this game, we will be taking this board into a matrix form where the block where a board is present is taken as 0, and a block where the board is not present is represented by -1 like this, and a block where the blue coin, that is the player 1, is present is represented by number 1, and the block where red coin is present, this is the player 2, which is represented by 2. So we have 0 for the board is present, -1 for the board is not present, and the 1 for the player 1's position and 2 for the player 2's position. Here what you will be doing is writing a program, a simple program which deals with the 7x7 matrix, that is the 7x7 board. And let me explain you clearly by showing this diagram. Let us consider that player 1 writes a program for player 1, that is program 1, and a player 2 writes a program named program 2, and an interface is provided by us which we will be dealing with, and you don't have to worry about that interface, and we'll be giving you an input which is in the form of a 7x7 matrix like this, and what you should be giving us the output is just the coordinates of where your coin has to move. Like if the red coin is here, for example player 2, the player 2's program should tell us as an output that this coin should move to, either giving a coordinates, like you can give the coordinates of this coin, like it should be 5x5, or this, it can be 6x5 or something like that, and a coordinates, and the second coordinates you should be giving two coordinates, and the second coordinates is the position of the block which you want to remove. Like you want to remove a block which is beside of blue so that you can isolate blue. So you may remove this block, you may remove this block, or this block even. So that depends on the coordinates that you print, that depends on the algorithm which your program is based on, and you will be giving the output to the interface. An interface will make the changes to the board accordingly. These changes will be made accordingly to the board, and the interface will give that input to the player 1's program, like this player 2 has given in his output, and the interface will change it, and it will give the output, give the board as input to the program 1. Once again the program 1 which will get a 7x7 matrix, which is of course not in this form, which will be changing, like -1s might be here or somewhere here, and the 2 might not be here, it might be here. So the program 1 should deal with that input and give us the coordinates to the interface in return. Like the program 1 should give coordinates of something. Let us think this is blue one. it should give the coordinates of where it should move and also the coordinates of which block it would like to remove. So what you should be taking care of is an instantaneous matrix which is generated then and there will be given to you, a matrix which is like in this form, and you should take like your program which is written by you, the latest thing that you are a player 1, then program 1 which is written by you should take care of which step has to be taken by the coin 1, that is blue one, like this, it has to, whether it has to move from here to here or here or and also you should give the coordinates of the block which are going to remove from the board. Like if you are going to remove this, you have to print the coordinates like 6 comma 0 3 6 comma 2 and so on. So what you have to write is a simple program which can deal with this, which can take a single input as a matrix, as a 7 by 7 matrix, and which prints a single output which are the coordinates of where your coin wanna move and which block you wanna remove. Hopefully by now you must have got some clarity on how your program should be. So now let us go to input and output formats. Let us assume that this is the initial state of the board, that is the player 1, the blue coin, is over here and the player 2, the red coin, is over here. So this matrix can be represented as this, where all the board is represented with zeros. The player 1 position is represented with 1 and the player 2 position is represented with 2. And let us think that this is your program interface which you are writing, and you might be a player 1 or player 2. A program should know that, right? So we'll be giving you a 50 numbers of input, 50 numbers, that is a 7 by 7 matrix which is 49 numbers, and a single number which tells your program that whether you are a player 1 or your player 2, that whether your program should act as a player 1 or should act as a player 2. That is, you should be removing 50 numbers. Your program should take input of 50 numbers. Like, let us take the initial state, it should take an input of 50 numbers which is in this format, 49 numbers of matrix which is in this format, and a player 1. That means I am telling that your program should act as a player 1 for the given instant. That is, your player should take a move as a blue coin. So let us assume that your program is going to give some output like this. Actually you should give an output like this. 2 coordinates, which is first one 1 comma 2 is where your coin should move, and the second one is 5 comma 3 where your player is going to remove, where your program should remove the block from. And like, let me explain you clearly. Like, this is input given to your program and the output is given like this to our interface. Then our interface will deal with the board and turns this board into a situation like this. That is, your coin, the blue coin, has moved to the position 1 comma 2, that is here. That is, the matrix starts from 0 here, 0, and the 1, row 1, and column 0, 1 and 2, that is 1 comma 2. The blue coin is over here and you should remove the block 5 comma 3, that is 5 1 0 1 2 3 4 5 and 0 1 2 3, that is the upper block to red coin. So the interface will turn the board into like this. The board's representation into matrix is also taken care by the interface, and thus the interface will give this as input to another program, which is, let us assume it to be the player 2's program. So we are giving 50 inputs, which is 49 digits, that is 7 by 7 matrix, and the player number, that is player 2. Now the opponent's program, that is this program, let us assume that this program is opponent's program, which acts as player 2, and it instantaneously deals with this input, that is this input, and let us assume that it has given this output. So once again our board will deal with these output and make the respective changes in this board. So guys, you must have got some clarity by now on the problem statement, and the only constraint present in this problem statement is your program should give the output within 1 second. That is, time limit for the execution is 1 second. That is, your program after receiving these 15 numbers, you should give these output within 1 second. And that's all guys. As the event is on 3rd October, you should be registering for this event on or before the night of 2nd October. And the Google Forms registration is given in the short link above. Thank you guys. Thank you for listening.